In lesson 7.6, we're going to talk about circles. Now, circles have a lot of parts that we got to name. So, what is a circle? A circle is a set of points equal distance around a center point. Okay, so if I have one center point, it's all the dots around that point that are the same distance away, and that forms a circle. And a radius is a segment from the center of a circle to the edge. Okay, so from the center to the edge, that's a radius. A diameter is a segment that cuts a circle in half. It must go through the center. Okay, so there's a bunch of them, and it can go any which way, but it's got to go through the center of the circle. There could be another one over here. As long as it goes through that center, it's a diameter. And a central angle, this one, an angle whose vertex is at the center. So this is a central angle because the vertex is at the center. Here's the angle. Okay? A chord, oh wait, I already used that. We used orange? Nope. A chord is a segment connecting 2 points on the edge of the circle, not going through the center. Okay, so any 2 points on the edge of the circle, if you connect them, that's a chord. And an arc, that one? Okay. An arc is a portion of the edge, of a circle. Think of an arc kind of like pizza crust. Just the crust. Just the part going around the edge. So this would be an arc. Okay? It's like a crust on a pizza. And a semicircle is... oh wait, I already used that. Let's go brighter. A semicircle is half the edge of a circle. Okay, so from one end point of the diameter to the other, but along the edge, that's a semicircle. It's half the edge of the circle. Alright, so pause the video, fill those in before I gotta move on to some more words. Are there more words down here? Oh, there's not. Great. Okay, now we're just gonna name a bunch of things on this big old circle. So, here we go. ST. ST goes from the center to the edge, so that is a radius. VW. VW goes all the way across and goes through the center, so that is a diameter. WX connects 2 points on the circle but does not hit the center, so that is a chord. STW, it's an angle, STW, so it's this guy. He's an angle in the center, so he is a central angle. SV, and notice that they put this over it. That helps you know that that is an arc. And WSV, and it also has an arc on it, so you know you're on the outside of the circle. Let's get rid of all this. Okay. WSV is exactly halfway around the circle, so that is a semicircle. Okay, so now let's see what we got to do next. Alright, so now we're going to use this little circle here, and we're going to name different parts. We're going to name some arcs. Stop it. And yeah, alright, so we're going to name a whole bunch of stuff on this circle here. Okay, so let's name the parts inside the circle. So radii, which is just plural for radius. Okay, so where are my radii? Anybody from the center to the edge. So AF, BF, and you can name these in any order. I can call this one FE if I want. I don't have to call it EF. It doesn't matter. As long as it's somebody including with the F. Diameter has to go all the way across the circle. Let's erase that. So all the way across the circle looks like BE. And the chords, okay, now, okay, they left you two blanks. We know that CD is a chord. I'm guessing the other one that they're saying is going to be BE, because technically I guess a chord just has to connect two endpoints. So a diameter is a chord, but the diameter has to go through the middle where the chord does not. So I wouldn't really ask you for BE to be a chord. If I'm going to ask you to name a chord, just name that. Okay, name 3 of the arcs in this circle. Let's erase my marks here. 3 arcs. Okay, any 3 you want. So I could say whoopsies, go back to my pen. AB, but I need to know it's an arc, so I put the little arc over it. I could say BC. I could say DE. Pick any 2 letters on the outside of the circle, okay? There's a whole bunch more. You pick 3, doesn't matter. Now, name 2 different, I'm going to have to scroll down. Name 2 different arcs between points C and D. Okay, so now there's 2 ways to go from C to D. So I'm actually going to do this guy so that I can, so I can do it next to the picture. I can either go straight from C to D, okay, that's 1 arc, or I could go the other way around the circle. I can go this long way from C to D. Now if I'm going to go the long way, I'm going to start with C, but I pick any letter that I hit on my way over to D. So I could say CB, D. I could have said CAD, could have said CED, okay? So I'm just going to say these 2, but it's when you want to name the big arc, you have to use 3 letters and just pick any letter that you hit along the way to the other side. Okay? Oh, so the shorter one is going to be CD. The longer arc would then be the CBD. Aha, CBD. Okay. So now they give you a big old picture down here, and they want you to name all sorts of stuff. So name all the central angles. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 central angles in that picture. Remember to use 3 letters to name your angles. Name 3 arcs in circle F that are not mentioned in example 2. So go back up to the top of the picture, the picture at the top of the page. Name 3 arcs that weren't mentioned. And number 3, name 2 different arcs between points A and D in circle F. So model 2 and 3, after examples, 2 and 3, and using this circle at the top of the page. Okay, so try those, and we will check your work in class.